Apahir tuhu ira makai tatakriron mo huru tuhu pahahi tatahi na no tohu ina kahayara. Apahira na kaki jujua mama i tatatohu ira tataira na. Apain di tutu utu unyara ka ipahira pa o ti tapak tatahu ina na. Para papapapo ira mapapa i tatahira tuhu. Puha papapia na nara tahira po 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 Ishiana maahiana hakahiana tahu tu na haya tahira na takaina paina hakaina istianara istianara Istianara. Yes, hello. We are indeed the Sirian collective from Sirius, and we're purposefully putting the words into Wendy's mouth earlier so that she would be aware of our presence and understanding that we are here wanting to connect further, as well as bring messages. One moment as she steps further into the heart space to connect with us more clearly. Blessings to you. We bid good day. We are the Pleiadians, and we also are here in conjunction with the Sirian collective. We, in conjunction, want to continue to bring joy and bring light to those who watch, those who listen, those who share these messages. Asking you to connect in with your higher selves, with your teams, with your light teams, finding those messages of love within yourself as your hearts are clearing these energies more and more readily. Similar to what the Lyran Council had mentioned for you to recognize and acknowledge these clearings are happening. The reason that we step forward, overstepping the Sirius collective slightly, is so that you can have these joyous messages in addition to the information that they are going to provide for you. And at this beautiful time on the planet, although we are extremely excited and happy for these changes that are coming, we at the same time know that it can be difficult for you within your physical bodies, and want you to recall and recollect that you have agreed to this work. So step once more into your heart space and acknowledge the release that you are assisting with, not only yourself, but the planet. So the pain that you are feeling is not just a singular being's multiple lives, but collective energies, similar to how we are coming in as collective energies, speaker in tow. Or at the lead, I should actually correct and say, So we send our blessings and appreciate, as always, you recalling us as we assist you on your ascension, as we have gone through a similar ascension within an earlier timeline. And so blessings and good day. We are the Sirius Collective once more. And this is at times what you would consider your nighttime or your meditation time, grueling, actually, very grueling work that is being accomplished. The energy required for this work is very strong and very needed indeed. So we are definitely asking that as you ask to connect with us in your astral travels, that your intentions come to aid us more thoroughly in its fullness. You have heard many times, boots on the ground. And that's truly what you are. As you connect in with your physical being and the energies being moved around and within your physical being, as it is being rewired throughout the day many times, throughout the night many times, and this rewiring deals with the structural components within the body. As you know, your bodies are each a universe in and amidst and amongst itself. You may think of your organs as planetary beings within the universe of the cellular structure that is you as a physical body. With the DNA being upgraded and changed, you're going to feel these vibrations within your physical being, and this is as anticipated. The sharper pains or the aches that are coming through that many of you are experiencing are karmic release. And Wendy has channeled previously about the karmic ties that you are cleansing and clearing within your beings, especially as many of you are these higher dimensional beings that have come in to be here specifically at this time to assist with these plethora of energies. It really is billions and billions and billions of human karmic lives that many of you are taking on or have taken on. And the reason that you have done this is because when you are clearing the planet, it is not just your lives, it is not just this collective, but it is past life collectives. And so you may be thinking of your earth and the peoples on the earth in its current billions, that this number is those that are currently alive, but it really steps into so much more than that. It steps further and deeper and farther back than you can imagine. We would go so far as to say back to its creation, as the creator beings have certainly been part of the teams that placed the planet in its and on its axis to begin with. We feel that it's important that as you're transmuting, you are intentional in sending the lower frequencies to Mother, Father, God, asking with your prayerful intent for it to move into the light, and for, let's just say, Source to call this energy back to itself, into the oneness of all that is. We also ask you to step into the knowledge of who you are within your own DNA as you're brightening yourselves, that the DNA also comes into its own brightness as you're inch by inch, cell by cell, moving further along your divine blueprints. Call it the matrix, if you will. These green lines of code, which are really more spirals than lines. And as these codes are coming to you, some of you are speaking it as light language, some of you are writing down the codes. With or without translation, the codes have their meaning. Many times it is a message specific for you. And other times, if you're feeling guided to share these messages, then they are messages for others. Whenever you're able to speak your light language and share it, this is beneficial not just for yourself, but for all who may be in the proximity of the message. We know that many of you are involved in TikTok and maybe posting things on occasion. We actually do want to encourage you to use this technology, because not only will you brighten the reach or further the reach, but you will brighten the actual technology, which is in dire need of it. There are still many transmissions that are being sent across the internet that are of a very low vibration. Many dealing with a sexual nature. Many dealing with poor quality messages. Many dealing with false information and messages, not the truth. So this is why it's important for those of you that do have the truth, that are beaming the light, that are here to be the broad pillars of light that they are in and of their own accord. That this light is shared more fully and through as many technology channels as possible. We also are aware that these lives are busy. Do not self-judge. We just ask that if the consideration comes into your mind, that you follow through with your train of thought for, oh, I should maybe post, that you do post. If you do not want to be on screen, find a crystal and focus on that for your image. And then send out your vibration of light language. Although this being has had many clearings today between self-work, assistance with the council, the Lemurian Council of Nine, and now us within the Sirius collective, she can only imagine how much work is being done to be released within the physical body, feeling these pains throughout, often within the back. The back tends to be a large representation of where many of these, let's say the torso, are held. And this is because of the many factions of warring over the planetary's existence, between wounding of what others may have considered the enemy. We say that you are the enemy to yourself. And as you work on loving yourself, as you work on cleansing and clearing your body, connecting in with the heart more fully, you will find that this is painful but bearable. Bearable, do you hear us? Bearable. Many of you have pendulums that you may use, that you can ask, am I clearing energies? Am I clearing energies for myself? Am I clearing energies for the collective? A simple yes, no response. Many of you are also familiar with body testing, using your hands, using your fingers, using your full body. If you are unsure what this is for body testing, simply do a search on your World Wide Web. You will find many results. This is also to advise you to remember that you have this power within you. You may ask yourself, is this my energy? Is this my karma being released? Am I assisting the collective, humankind, the galaxy? You have to recall that you are an interdimensional being. These energies that move within you and around you are not always just your own. As you have been raising your frequency and vibration, these energies are becoming fuller and more to your understanding and awareness. You are gaining your telepathic messages more and more completely, more fully in its clarity. You may also use the pendulum to say, am I doubting myself from what you hear? Is this message for me, or is it meant to be shared? As the collective, we come through in a little more forcefulness than what is potentially needed, but we do know that these times are dire still. Dire. You understand this. You think, what happened to the Mayans? What happened to the dinosaurs? What happened to the mammoths? What happened when the flood came? Why did all the beings on the planet need to be wiped out, only to be stored on an ark and brought back? We are not wanting to store beings on an ark. We are wanting this earth and its peoples, its beings, to raise their vibration. We are assisting, all of us, so many of us. Yes, there are that faction that want to keep the energies low. There are those galactics that prefer the contention of the duality. But you have many, 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 many more who are pushing for the brightness of the light, assisting and guiding you along your paths. And so, throughout the day, connect, send your light, bring in universal energies to assist. Those of you with white magic are at a much brighter space to be able to alchemize these energies. Do so more willingly with intention, as you are able to manifest more thoroughly. We want you to be at peace. We want you to reach the same level of connection that we have. We want the light to coexist. And as you come into your galactic awareness more fully throughout this year, as you will be getting more and more releases from the press, so to say, as your news networks begin to report more and more, there certainly have been enough beings that have made connections, that are channeling, that are telepathically getting messages, even if many of them are afraid to step forward with the fear of being judged in their woo-woo presence, within their "that's just weird, does that really happen" judgments, that they may have found themselves judging others of, even because it's within the programming. As you are releasing much of this programming from not only yourself, but the collectives, as you are reaching these higher levels of frequency and dimensions, that you continue to move forward one step at a time, one day at a time. But it must be intentional. Do not tell yourself that you must sit for hours on end meditating. This is not a necessity. The quantum is only a few breaths away. Write it down, say it out loud. Take your breaths and breathe the light. Breathe in, I am the light. Breathe out, I am the light and love. We do further encourage you to work with your breath. Because it is the air that you breathe that makes you a being alive on this planet. Without breath, you are no longer in the physical plane. You move once more into the spirit realm, reconnecting with your soul, releasing once more the aspects that are currently working with you as guides and support team back to their prime soul. Thank you, and thank you for the many prayers and blessings that you give. Continue to do this more often. If you are working and on the road, do this before you start. Do this after you finish. you will find yourself clearing more readily and easily along the way.
I don't feel like I get as much done as I used to, but maybe that's because when I had more of a concept of time, I was able to, I guess, structure my day more into getting like tasks done, things done. And now it's just much more fluid and just
Yes, we admire your recognition of this energy and the loss of time. The fluidity of the work is acceptable. Do not judge yourself over how much have I done. Know that you're getting done what needs to be done when it needs to be done. And this is what is important.
okay, thank you for that. Yeah, I just try to focus on whatever needs my more immediate attention in each now moment.
Yes.
And yeah.
And for yourself, you are working and connecting, but with your body element. And we ask you to continue to speak with your body elemental, asking itself what it needs. And although the craving of the ego may step in, you may also ask your body elemental to assist you with this, to reduce those cravings. Many of these cravings also come from the plethora of past lives that, to soothe itself, would want the treat, because there were many lives of lack of food resources, and something delicious was a blessing and a treat, and oftentimes the only thing sustaining the beings. So connecting into this information will assist you further in your goals. And then we also want to, and this is for any listening, remind you to not self-judge. You may have an intention and you may not be meeting what your expectation is. And this is okay. Whether it's I'm not doing enough, whether it's I should have cleaned my house, I should be a better parent, sibling, child, aunt, uncle, these relatives. I should have been a better friend. I shouldn't have said that. All these shouldn't ofs. When you hear yourself think this thought, release it and send it love. Send it love. Send yourself love. Send yourself forgiveness. And you will find much healing. And that these steps that you take on whatever your goal is will be more readily obtainable as the energies are brighter and lighter. And as the central sun supports you along with the stars, Sirius, and the Sirian collective, as well as so many other star groups. There are so many here to assist. Simply ask for this assistance to be broadened, and your connection and awareness to these entity beings, as not everyone is currently seeing them, but they will be coming more and more into your presence. And do not judge yourself for the gifts that you think you do not have when you have them, and simply are waiting for them to come further online.
Okay, I don't believe we have any further questions, but thank you for coming and providing your wonderful insights for our journey.
Thank you, and may the force be with you, the force that is the collectives of light as a whole, within the galaxy of all of us that unite, within the light of who we are, connecting in back with the one source. Our blessings to you. Ukurinyakaya naratoira nahara. Be the light. You too, huh, Susan?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Yeah.
right at the end, okay, I had all this pain in my back the whole time. I was like, ah! Which, of course, I know and acknowledge that it's karmic energy being released, apparently from not just my life, but collectives and past lives and yada, yada. But right at the very end, after the light language blessing, and what do they say? Oh, be the light. Right after they said that, I had this huge yawn, but right before I had this huge yawn when I was doing the light language, and right before I said be the light, my whole, like from my head all the way down my back into my hips, just like this rush of heat, which, as we know, is healing energy too. And now I'm like, my body is shaking, like physically shaking too. But that energy is like moving through our physical system to help us release further. So that's really cool. And my feet are like buzzing, tingling too, like
Yeah, that's what
like,
I
you
was
know how when
feeling
your foot
too.
falls asleep, it feels like that right now. Like my whole ball of my foot and my toes on my left side feel like they're like asleep.
Well, I had that feeling too when I was done channeling, and I still feel it too. And like when I got up to, during our break time, when I got up to walk, like just walk down the stairs from upstairs to downstairs, like my legs felt like rubber, like they felt just stiff and rubbery, and like
Oh my God.
trying to like walk straight. But
And I'm feeling very quantum, if you will.
Well, yeah, I was feeling like that too. I went down to my kitchen downstairs. Just walking down the stairs and then standing in my kitchen, the thought came to me that I was feeling quantum, like just like woo,
you feel like you're like moving, and
yes.
Well, thank you to all of our teams that came in. Thank you to everybody who watched, who participated with any of the activations or anything that they'll be doing in the future. I mean, it's important, right? They keep telling us it's important, so it must be important. So yeah, much love. Thank you guys, really, from our hearts, for watching and supporting us, and coming back for more views, and we look forward to connecting with you guys so much more in the future.
Yes.
Yeah, and thank you, Archangel Michael, for cutting our cords and sending violet flame to both ends of the cords for any any beings that we connected with that we need to do that with. Thank you.
Yes. So we hope to see you in the future at some of our live events, as we are planning things for the new year. They're in the works, so we'll try to get those set up soon. So
exactly. And if you found us on Facebook, find us on YouTube as well.
yes.
By the same name, Channeled Illuminations. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Much love.